Hi there, in today's video I'll be showing you how you can make guitar Afrobeat from scratch in FL Studio, and also I'll ensure that I leave the download link to the FLP in the description so you guys can make use of it. And with all of that being said, let's get started. So here we are inside of FL Studio. The very first thing I would like to do is to set our tempo, and for this kind of beat I'll be using a mid tempo which is 95. So I'll literally start with a guitar sound, and the guitar sound is from a contract library called PSR 900, and I'm going to select a guitar sound. My favorite guitar sound is actually warm electric, and the next thing would be to head over to the piano roll and create something really amazing. For this tutorial I'll be using the key of C minor, as you guys can see, C then minor. Yes, so basically I'm going to arrange the chords. Alright, so I'm having a little bit of challenge arranging this because I'm not used to it. I'm used to playing it on my keys. So I'll just duplicate this and alternate it. Alright, so that's basically what the vibe is going to be like. What I want to do is to also copy this and duplicate it. Yes, so we have something long enough to create other elements. So at this point I like to make the guitar sound really nice even without any instrument here. So what I would like to do is to send it to the mixer track, which is one. So I already have some sends here already on my mixer track. What I'll do next is to send in some reverb, and my favorite reverb is actually Valhalla Vintage Verb. Yeah, so I'm just going to send it in. Actually rename this as the main guitar. Alright, so basically that gave it some kind of ambience and some space, comparing it to it sounding like this. Yeah, so now we have some reverb sent in and it sounds much more better. Yeah, so one thing I like to do is to consolidate my MIDI tracks. In some other cases you might not need to do that, but personally for me I like to consolidate it, so as to tweak it and also save CPU. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, so after consolidating it, we have this. The next thing I would want to do is to add in a befitting chord to this chord progression, and to do that I would head over to Nexus and I will head over to the factory preset, select the synth category and select a sound called Chill Zone 2. Yeah, so one thing I observe about this sound is the fact that the FX and the processing on it is actually too much, like the reverb and the delay, and you have the liberty to edit that in Nexus by just heading over to this part. This is the delay part, and what you can do is to reduce the mix, or better still turn it off if you don't need it. But in this case I just want a little bit of it. I don't want something too lousy. So for the reverb also I can drop it so much because I don't want muddiness in my beat, because the main guitar area has so much reverb, so I'm trying not to have a clumsy beat. So after doing that we have this. Alright, so I love that already, and I'm going to record it in to this chord progression that we have here already. What I'm doing next is to quantize this. So I love the short notes. I'm going to change everything to that. So change this to that. Yeah, and as you guys can remember, we're trying to save CPU, right? So I'm going to also consolidate this to an audio track. So another thing I noticed is the fact that I think there is some level of muddiness in the guitar on the low end, and then the chord that we played also has some low end to it. So what I want to do is to cut some of it off, and I'm going to use a waves plugin called F6 RTA stereo. Yeah, so this is basically what the interface is like. I'm going to cut off the low frequency. So next up, guys, I feel like we are progressing with the beat already, and for reading purpose I would like to add in a muted guitar. For the muted guitar, I'm also going to head over to Nexus and select a muted guitar there. So I would head over to factory preset, then select guitar. Yeah, I already have a preset here that I already favorite. Yeah, and that's what it basically sounds like. So to come up with something really unique, we are going to head over to the piano roll and see what fits into this progression. I already have an idea in my head, so I'm going to try it out. So we're in the key of E flat. So one thing I'm noticing about this muted guitar is the fact that the delay is actually too much, like so much. I just need a little bit of it, then little reverb, so as not to have a clumsy bit. Remember, guys. So let's go. So this is what I was able to come up with, guys. First thing I want to do is to quantize this. So I feel like this should be dumpa. I'm trying to add some filler notes in between it. Just a quick recap before we continue. So first of all, we have the guitar arpeggio. Then next up, we have the guitar chords. And then presently, we have the muted guitar. So next up, guys, we'll try to create a befitting melody to this chord progression that we have already. And to do that, I'm going to also pick sound from Nexus. I have this amazing melody called Till I Come See. I already favorite it because I love the sound. So let's see what we're able to come up with. Also, guys, I feel like this is not giving me the kind of vibe I want, and we can literally go back to the first guitar sound that we picked and create something unique from it. Alright, so guys, I really love that. Something really simple, and we're able to also utilize the default slaw when we hit the guitar sound add. We're able to utilize it to create that melody. So what I want to do next is to actually record this in. So guys, apologies for the glitches and the cracks. After trying to come up with some Topline Melody, we have this now. The next thing to do to this bit would be to actually add in a bass line before we now conclude with the drums. And for that sound, I'll go into a plugin called Tritone. And what I'll do is to pick up a bass preset. And this is actually under the bass category, as you guys can see. And I, favorite a bass called Nasty Bass. So such an amazing bass. So what we would do next is to head over to the piano roll and come up with something really nice. So I can duplicate that. Yeah, something really simple and not too, too busy. Alright, so guys, in order not to make this video too long, I'll be making use of a drum loop from our rhythm and blues sample pack so as to complement what we have in this beat already. And like I mentioned earlier, guys, the FLP will be made available for you so as to explore and also, take it further and probably make your own beat out of it. If you find value in this video, kindly hit that like button, and if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing for amazing content from this channel. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.